Hello, folks. I wanted to say a few words about cancel culture these days and how cowardice stinks. Alright, now why do we have this rabid cancel culture going on? Well, it seems to me, first of all, you have a bunch of undisciplined ruffians. Children who have not been disciplined. And then also they have no purpose to their lives. So they are desperately reaching and grasping for something, for some cause to take up so that they can feel, I guess, part of a group, they can feel powerful, they can feel like they're making a difference. And every time this cancel culture is successful, this encourages it to get worse and worse. Like I said, we're on modern day witch trials, essentially. This person's a witch, that person's a witch, this person's, and the thing is, their conception of what these Nazis and racists are is totally wrong. And they don't realize that their own behavior is fascistic, and their own behavior is completely within the Nazi behavior and mentality. And of course, the Democrats are not able to shake their racism by constantly focusing on race. That just proves how racist they are. But they think they can use this to bring down their opponents. I said these are people who are, well, of course, they're mentally sick. They are narcissistic. They are lonely. They are desperate. They are without God. And they are trying to, I guess, take out revenge on the world. They're trying to, all these things, they're trying to satisfy their need for acceptance, the need for their purpose. They're trying to satisfy their revenge on the world. Apparently, a lot of these characters have had bad childhoods and bad upbringings. And of course, the public school system is of no help. It's been a pandering, non-disciplinary system for decades, and that's why the school violence had escalated there, because of no discipline, no respect for authority. Everyone's just taking their anger out on society. So, first of all, these cancel culture people are not well. And they said they are bored also. And they're trying to get recognition, fame, and money however they can. And of course, the rich leftists and liberal elites are using these poor, unwell people as tools and pawns to try to destabilize society and bring about left-wing control. They're definitely using them. So, and I mean, there's really no future in the cancel culture. Like I said, they're just going to eventually circle around and cancel themselves. I mean, you look at any of the revolutions, what eventually happens? They start accusing each other of being witches, they start accusing each other of being traitors, they fight among each other, and they're not going to have a good end. You see this, but as another thing, the left hates history because they do not want to improve themselves, they don't want to learn, they just want to blunder and stumble full speed ahead. And at first, we thought that this cancel culture would run its course quickly because it's ridiculous. But then you see these big companies, and which you think these big companies would be the ones who would have the money and the power to fight these sniveling little cowards. However, these big companies are just as big a cowards as everybody else. And here's the thing, these companies, they're not really catering to their audience. They are catering to a handful of screaming memes, of banshees, that just want attention, and they know that by finding some reason, some crazy pretext of suing these companies, like, they can make money, they can get their name in the news, they can make their fame and fortune. And of course, the left keeps supporting these people in their mental illness and their lawlessness. Nobody is calling them out. So, it really stinks that these big companies are cowards. So apparently if you have a lot to lose, then you fold. So I guess it's up to us who do not have a lot to lose, we do not have big fame and fortune. It is up to us to fight back against the cancel culture. The first thing we need to do is obviously stand up against them. we need to tell the truth, which is that they themselves are the fascists, racists, Nazis, and that will twist their brains a little bit because they are not going to know what to think if it's coming right back at them, and we can prove they are. They don't know what they're saying. They're just saying it because it sounds mean. It sounds like they're doing a good job of demonizing their opponents, even though they don't know what the words mean. It's like just shouting words, anything, like saying, parrot, 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 chicken nugget, chicken nugget, chicken nugget. You know, they're just trying to say words with no meanings in strong ways. And they're just being ridiculous. So I said, we need to fight back against the cancel culture. Giving in, like I said, the root of this is undisciplined children, which our public schools have gifted us in abundance. That is the root. No respect for authority. And that just shows why the system has been crumbling for years. And of course, it's harder to discipline teenagers and adults than it is tiny children. And that's why our society had more mature, sensible people years ago when the family was in better shape and when the schools were in better shape and they had actual discipline. So obviously fighting back against the cancel culture is to stand up against them. And we cancel culture by not allowing the spoiled brats to have their way. You just tell them no. And when they start screaming and crying, you just continue to maintain your stance. I had to laugh on the Sky News Australia. Well, apparently the story recently about the BBC banning the Chinese news network because the Chinese news network had a parade on Chinese New Year that was representing all the cultures. So there were people in the parade dressed up as every race, and there was some in blackface. So I had to watch 3 different news networks to get this story. So anyhow, so therefore the BBC canceled the Chinese network, and so the Chinese network canceled the BBC and accused them of bias, and to which, of course, the BBC cried. See, these are spoiled brats. When you catch them in their lies, they will act like a little angelic baby. And, of course, the BBC says, the pure, wholesome, truthful news is a human right. How dare China ban us? And, of course, the comments were going crazy with everyone just laughing. I laughed hard. Everyone was, and plenty of comments said, we wish the BBC would be banned in the UK. Like, let's ban the CBC in Canada. Let's ban the ABC in Australia. And the comments, I look down and I see some comment, you know it's by a leftist. They're like, oh, all the talk about banning free speech on this thread is very disturbing. You see, when they are backed up against the wall, caught in their hypocrisy and their crookedness, they will act the little angelic baby. Either that or scream bloody murder, whichever one will work. So we need to get back to discipline. And there is not a freedom to lie like mad to the public, especially when it's a news network. There needs to be consequences for lying to the public. And I said, of course, as far as this issue with the Chinese New Year parade, another thing the left doesn't like I said, they do not like individuality in countries and cultures. Like I said, it's well known that what is a positive thing in one culture might be offensive in another, and vice versa. And that's why you have to know your cultures. But the left doesn't want to know any cultures. They want what they want when they want it. And if they don't get it, they will cry victim or scream bloody murder. And we must not let the left brats get around us this way. We have to know that we have to push back, and we have to be the parents and stop giving in, because the more we give in, the more they will try to get away with. So, it all starts with saying no and standing firm. And I said, then we all, like I said, we do our own things. We have all our own businesses, our own companies. And when they start whimpering and whining, we just ignore them. And eventually, they will grow up and they will realize that there are too many normal people out there going about their business, and if they want to start trouble, they're going to be ending up on the wrong side of the law. But the left and the Democrats have been using cancel culture, using mental illness, using undisciplined criminal children to further their own ends. And when these people think they can get money and fame for trying to cancel people and cancel companies, they will do it. So I say we must cancel culture. All right, let freedom ring.